Let's unlock embarrassing memories together. All right, we all have them. I mean, I made a little list to like help me because I don't want to forget. And this is so new. And I'm still kind of getting used to talking to the camera. So, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me on this ride. Um, Also, I'd like to say in advance, the cuts are because I don't want you to sit here staring at me while nothing's happening. I want to talk about embarrassment. We've all been there. I've been there. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life, sometimes more than once. And I really wish sometimes the embarrassment was there. I think embarrassment can save us from a lot, including ourselves. It never feels comfortable, at least for me, to put myself out there. Kind of like this. So this is like a little challenge for me, this channel. I want to talk about stuff, I want to talk through stuff. And I really want to say I appreciate any of you that are watching this. I really appreciate it. Um So, the last video was my first one. I just want to say thank you for everyone who liked, commented, subscribed, all of the things. I appreciate that. So don't forget to do that now. If you're here and you haven't, you should do it. It's really easy. It's just a button click, and then you can forget about it forever. You can take it back later. But what I really appreciated was Sanka's comment. I'll put it here. He said, as cliche as it sounds, I think we remember so we don't forget. That's a really good point. And kind of, calls back to what I was saying earlier about it. Embarrassment can save you from a lot of scenarios. Now, not all the time. For example, when I was in, I think it was elementary school, we were in gym class playing something I can't remember. I remember the room, like the layout, kind of where kids were, and I got pantsed. Okay, can you imagine getting your pants pulled down in elementary school, like second grade elementary school? I was so embarrassed. I remember crying. Um, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember. And I think I remember like pulling them up quick and just being shocked and like, oh my God, did anybody see that? And like, oh my God. Looking back on it now, it sucked, but I survived. I think that's like one of the first embarrassing moments I really, really, really remember myself. That's another one. Oh, I remember this one time I was at a party. Now I'm an adult at this point. Um, maybe 22 years old. Um, and like I had these clip-in hair extensions. I was looking good, and I had it like up in a pony. And I had recently gotten a new tattoo on the back of my neck. And I wanted to show it to people. And I had my hair up, right? Well, and I've been drinking a little bit, so I flipped my head down and I accidentally hit someone unbeknownst to me with my hair. And as I whip it back up, everyone's kind of like looking at me like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I remember being so embarrassed. I kind of just like, I was quiet for the rest of the night. I'll never forget that. I felt kind of bad too, because like I didn't actually know if it happened and I didn't ask later. Just kind of like, let's just let that moment die where it's at. It's going to live here forever, but it's going to die there. And I don't think our brain is trying to like hurt us in a way when we get embarrassed. I think it's in a way kind of protecting us, raising our awareness of the situation and kind of we're putting a spotlight on ourselves, which I do think needs to happen more often, but I think embarrassment is important and necessary. Being uncomfortable is unnecessary, obviously, in the right context, as in like making a YouTube video, trying out for a play, whatever that thing may be. I think embarrassment is important because if you can't get through the embarrassment, in my opinion, you're gonna reach a lot of roadblocks. That's definitely true. Um, So I think it's a guardrail to protect us from like social mistakes or what have you. But it's very real and it can be very debilitating. I've had it be very debilitating. Um, and not necessarily with anything I did, was something that happened to me, and I was embarrassed that this thing happened to me, and I didn't know how to cope with it. Um, and it made me quiet for a long time. And I still notice that when like I'm really embarrassed or upset or whatever, I kind of like go into myself and I become a hermit a little bit. I think it's important to notice when you're feeling the embarrassment because you have to sit with those feelings. If you can't sit with those feelings, any feelings, and just look inward and say, "Ooh, I'm feeling really strongly about this. Why? Why am I feeling so strongly about this?" So, going back to the pants example, why am I feeling so strongly upset, embarrassed about, being pantsed? Well, I didn't want anyone to look at me differently. I didn't want to lose any friends. At that age, that's very important. Like, you don't want to be made fun of. Like, who wants to be made fun of? I don't think anyone ever, unless it's like a consenting like roast or something, you know. And then at some point I learned about the spotlight effect, which is really just like I was saying earlier, the spotlight is on you. And really only, I don't know, let's say there's 10 people there. Two people might remember it, but then they're, getting in their car and going wherever. You have to remember people are also leading their own lives, right? So, what might be embarrassing and monumental for me in my eyes to the person right over there who saw it probably didn't put much thought into it. Either, ooh, that sucks, or haha, sucks for you, or, any variety of thought commentary when you see something happening, right? Another thing I've learned is like trying to train my brain to do things. And we can always talk about this more, but for a small example, I was working a job. It was like customer service job where, you answer the phone and stuff. And if we weren't able to accomplish something, let's say refund a payment, we were not encouraged, not allowed, to use the word unfortunately. So I worked really hard on removing that from my vocabulary. And when I realized if I can remove words from my vocabulary willingly through practice, there might be a lot more that I can do. I think every time you work through something, just like riding a bike, you can get right back on it. Have you ever noticed, like, when you feel embarrassed, you do, like, I feel bigger. Like, maybe I feel larger than my surroundings. Obviously, I'm not, but I feel like I'm pushing the boundaries around me through everyone else. It's like I'm just like, again, I think that's that spotlight effect. Keep coming back to that. I was really worried I'd be embarrassed about like filming videos and stuff. And after I posted that first one, I actually found it was YouTube suggested. It's Roll into Retirement. Love this guy. He posted a few videos about how like, here's some simple steps you can take. And he mentioned something about like, being, for lack of a better term, a little embarrassed. Like he didn't tell his family and friends, which rightly so. Nobody knows about this other than my Twitch peoples. But I really appreciated that he was able to get over any embarrassment and just film those videos. Because I will tell you what, it's kind of embarrassing filming it, but then I posted it. I didn't care what happened with it. The relief I felt just from posting it. It was crazy, and it made me feel like, I accomplished something. It's a 2-minute video. It shouldn't theoretically have that much impact on my life, but it did. It made me feel really good, and it made me feel really excited about filming the next one and just talking to you here. That first video was definitely probably me referring to my notes more than this one, but I was glad to get out there, and I'm not going to delete it. I'm not going to remove it. I'm going to keep the cringe embarrassment feeling I get when I see it sometimes in the future. But I think it'd be really cool to be able to look back on and see how far I made it and how many new people I've got to meet and hear their perspectives and opinions and maybe something they went through that was similar to that I went through. And it's just, I think it's really cool. I think that's a really cool aspect of the internet is sometimes you can set that embarrassment to the side and actually kind of believe in yourself. It's a really weird feeling sitting here talking to myself, but it's getting easier as I go, definitely. So I don't think embarrassing memories like really stick around for the fun of it. I think it really is to protect us in the end, or if we're in a similar situation, remind us maybe of what happened last time, and maybe we want to make a different choice because we all have the power to make choices. And I don't think I'd be who I am today without embarrassment. I appreciate the times I've been embarrassed. Do I want to be embarrassed? No. Am I going to be embarrassed again? Absolutely. That's life. We're human, right? I'm going to mess up at some point, right? And that's okay. Why not? Why not be embarrassed? Who cares? Now, I didn't Google this, but I'm pretty sure pretty sure nobody has died from embarrassment, but like I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So really, I just say go for it. Be embarrassed. Embrace embarrassment because you'll miss out. Don't miss out. Don't hold yourself back. Let embarrassment guide you. Honestly, if you feel like you're starting to be embarrassed, do it harder. Dance harder. Do your thing. I think another something that goes hand in hand with embarrassment is being kind to yourself, allowing yourself to be embarrassed and not putting yourself down for being embarrassed. And that's just another habit we have to learn, right? Like how I removed, unfortunately, from my vocabulary. It's not easy. It's not going to happen overnight. I think they say it takes like 7 days to form a habit. So, 7 days. I think you could do it. I don't know. Have you removed any words from your vocabulary? I'm actually kind of curious if anyone else has ever done that before. It's kind of like the whole Chick-fil-A thing where they say, my pleasure. Absolutely. I like to say absolutely instead of yes, or I'll say absolutely or of course. I just feel like it's more genuine because I do feel that way. Now, I will say yes to things, but if someone's thanking me, I'm going to say absolutely because I enjoyed helping you with whatever it is. It made me a better person and maybe it helped you be a better person. There's that whole saying, and I'm gonna ruin it, is like, make sure your neighbor's plate has something on it. Um, just being kind to each other in a way, looking out for each other. This has kind of gotten away from embarrassment, but that's okay. I'm not embarrassed to say that. When I first started streaming on Twitch, I was really embarrassed because again, it feels like there's a spotlight on you. Not so much here, because it's just me and you talking. We're just talking, right? In a Twitch stream, it's much different. There's like things going on. Something happens when somebody follows. It's crazy. Blah 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 blah. Like, and I made some stream choices. They were a little embarrassing at the time. But again, I was a beginner. Everyone's a beginner at some point. But I think it's kind of comforting in the end that our brain wants to protect us. We want to be safe and feel safe. But sometimes those signals aren't necessarily reliable. If you're feeling embarrassment, like you're about to go up on stage and sing a song, I think that's quite normal. And empowering through that is what can build that repertoire of confidence. You accomplished that. You got through that embarrassment. And I think we need to put people through a lot more situations like that, even if it's just setting a simple goal. You know what, this week, every day, I'm going to match my socks because usually they don't match. It can be as simple as that. I believe in you. I believe in me. I believe in all of us. So I don't know. Let me know what's been on your mind. Did I say anything that makes sense to you? Do you have anything similar? Am I completely wrong? Please let me know. But before I go, please be kind to yourself. And remember, sometimes there's a kinder way to think about things. Thanks for thinking with me. I'll see you in the next one.